Have you ever looked up at the stars and thought, are we really the only ones out here? The idea that we might not be alone in this vast universe has captured human imagination for centuries. But what if I told you that aliens have already visited Earth? Some people think we're just dreaming or watching too many sci-fi movies, but there are real moments in history where people have had close encounters with extraterrestrial life. So open your mind, because today we are diving into 10 examples where humans believe aliens visited Earth. From mysterious lights in the sky to unexplained encounters, these are the stories that will make you question everything you know about your place in the cosmos. Sit back, relax, and let's see if we're alone, or if we've been hosting intergalactic visitors for years. First on our list, we've got the granddaddy of alien encounters, the infamous Roswell Incident. This is the one that really set off the whole UFO craze. In July 1947, a mysterious object crashed in the desert near Roswell, New Mexico. Now, the military first called it a weather balloon, but let's be honest, nobody bought that story. Local residents and military personnel quickly began to suspect that what they had found wasn't just a balloon, but something much stranger, a circular disc, perhaps an alien spacecraft. The event was followed by government cover-ups and numerous conspiracy theories. Witnesses reported strange bodies, strange technology, and even stranger behavior from military officials. So, was it a weather balloon or alien visitors? The truth might be out there, but the story of Roswell continues to captivate UFO hunters and conspiracy theorists to this very day. Next up, let's talk about the Washington D.C. UFO Incident of 1952. It's something that actually happened right above the US Capitol. In July of that year, military radar operators began to track strange, unidentified flying objects over Washington, D.C. for several nights in a row. Multiple reports came in from commercial pilots who also saw flying saucers darting around the skies, performing maneuvers that no known aircraft could replicate. The phenomenon got so crazy that the US Air Force scrambled fighter jets to intercept the UFOs. Guess what happened next? The jets couldn't keep up, and the lights just disappeared. No one knows what happened that night, but it's one of the most publicly documented UFO sightings in history, and it happened right over the White House. Now, let's dive into a case that's a bit more personal. The story of Betty and Barney Hill, a couple from New Hampshire who were driving home one night in 1961 when they experienced something they couldn't quite explain. On September 19th, returning home from a trip to Niagara Falls, driving down US Route 3, they saw a bright light in the sky that seemed to follow them and then dart off. Trying to keep up and investigate, eventually, the UFO hovered about 80 feet above them. They later woke and believed they had been abducted by aliens who performed strange medical exams on them before releasing them back on Earth. The Hills underwent hypnosis sessions to uncover the details of their experience, and their stories matched up eerily well. Were they just sleep-deprived, or did they actually encounter extraterrestrial life? It's one of the most famous alien abduction stories in history, and the first widely publicized story of a UFO encounter leading to an abduction. So, next time you're driving home on a lonely road, maybe keep an eye on the sky, just in case. Let's head up to Canada for the Shag Harbour UFO Incident in 1967. Picture this, a quiet night on the coast of Nova Scotia, when multiple witnesses reported seeing a glowing object plunge into the waters of Shag Harbour. The Canadian military responded quickly, launching a full-scale investigation and even sending divers into the water. Despite their efforts, they couldn't find anything, but strange radar readings and reports of mysterious lights continued to surface. Some even claim that underwater crafts were spotted near the site, leading many to believe that the UFO didn't crash, but rather submerged beneath the waters to avoid detection. So, was it an alien ship taking a dip in the ocean, or just a really bizarre military experiment? To this day, the incident remains one of the most unexplained UFO events in Canadian history. Now, let's take a trip across the pond to the United Kingdom, where military personnel reported encountering a UFO in the woods in December of 1980 near RAF Woodbridge, a Royal Air Force base being used by the US Air Force at the time. Known as the Rendlesham Forest Incident, this event involved several military witnesses who saw a strange craft land in the forest. One soldier even reported touching the craft and feeling a strange heat radiating from it. But it didn't stop there. The US military personnel who were involved claimed they saw bright lights and even observed strange symbols etched into the craft. Despite multiple investigations, there was no definitive explanation. Some believe that this was a case of military misidentification, but others think it's proof of extraterrestrial visitation. Either way, it remains a cornerstone of UFO mysteries in the UK. Imagine this. You're in school, sitting in class, and suddenly the whole class is told to look outside. What do you see? A flying saucer, of course. That's exactly what happened to over 200 students and teachers at the Westall School in Melbourne, Australia in 1966. They all reported seeing a silver disc-shaped UFO, about twice the size of a family car, hovering in the sky before it quickly darted away. And some claimed that other aircraft were pursuing it. What makes this even more interesting? Aerial footage of the incident was reportedly taken, but mysteriously, the footage was later lost or destroyed. Some witnesses claim the military arrived shortly after, and any further investigation was suppressed. Was it a military experiment, a hoax, or was Australia visited by aliens? You decide. Fast forward to 2006, and we have a UFO sighting right over O'Hare International Airport in Chicago. Multiple employees at the airport, ranging from pilots to ground crew, reported seeing a disc-shaped object hovering above the terminal before shooting straight up into the sky, disappearing in a matter of seconds. The Federal Aviation Administration initially denied the reports, claiming it was a weather phenomenon, but the witnesses were adamant. It was reported that the object had a metallic, silver appearance, and its speed was unlike anything the airport had ever seen. The incident was so high profile that it made headlines across the world and remains a mystery today. Was it a UFO? Well, there's certainly no official explanation, and the witnesses continue to stand by their stories. Looks like the O'Hare Airport wasn't just for domestic and international flights. Now, let's talk about the Fresno Lights UFO incident just 1 year later in 2007. In Fresno, California, several residents reported seeing a mysterious light hovering in the night sky. The light would move erratically, change colors, and then suddenly disappear, leaving witnesses in awe and confusion. These unexplained lights were caught on video, and despite investigations, no one could pinpoint exactly what they were. Was it an alien spacecraft on a stealth mission, or just a misidentified drone? Either way, it's one of the more recent cases of UFO activity that has people scratching their heads and wondering, what's really out there? Now, let's talk about the 2004 Nimitz UFO Incident, which might just be one of the most jaw-dropping UFO sightings ever recorded. In November 2004, US Navy pilots above the aircraft carrier USS Nimitz encountered mysterious flying objects during military exercises off the coast of California. These objects, known as Tic Tacs because of their shape, moved at unbelievable speeds, performing maneuvers that defied the laws of physics, like going from 60,000 feet to hovering 1 foot above the ocean in a second. The pilots attempted to engage the UFOs, but these objects vanished without a trace. The incident was documented by military radar, and the footage was released to the public in 2017. The Nimitz UFO Incident remains one of the most documented and mysterious UFO events in modern history, with former pilots like Commander David Fravor still baffled with what he saw. Now, last, but by no means least, let's talk about a classic UFO encounter, the 1986 Alaska UFO sighting. In November of 1986, Japanese Airlines cargo flight 1628, a Boeing 747, was flying over eastern Alaska when the crew had an encounter they would never forget. Captain Kenjo Teruachi and his crew observed several strange glowing objects in the sky that appeared to be moving erratically. The objects had rectangular arrays that resembled thrusters, and they were outpacing the aircraft in ways that no known aircraft could match. As the crew tried to track these mysterious objects, they reported that the UFOs were performing impossible maneuvers. The encounter was so serious that the US Air Force investigated the sighting. However, despite their efforts, they were unable to provide a conclusive explanation. Was it a case of military testing, weather phenomena, or something else entirely? The incident still stands as one of the most intriguing UFO sightings in modern aviation history, and to this day, it remains one of the best documented UFO encounters from the 1980s. So, there you have it, 10 examples of alien encounters that might just have you questioning everything you thought you knew about life on Earth. From government cover-ups to everyday people witnessing the unexplainable, it's clear that aliens might not be as far away as we think. Whether it's a flying saucer hovering over a busy airport or an abduction in the dead of night, one thing is sure, the truth is out there. But what do you believe? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a moment of the weird and the wonderful. Stay curious. Until next time.